Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be ranking every single mission quest skin that I own, which isn't really that many. However, I think it would be nice. So let's just get right into it. In 10th place is going to be Love Striker Rocketeer. This skin is just not very cool. It's pretty basic compared to the regular Rocketeer, only getting a new crossbow, being a girl instead of a dude, and just the overall white and love-like color scheme. Getting some wings, hearts, different boots, skirt, basically just basic stuff that makes it more Valentine's themed. Level 1, it gets gloves. Level 2, it changes the rocket. Level 3, changes the rocket once again and earns a beret. And at level 4, bigger wings, and it gets the quad launching rocket. Overall, this skin just isn't very nice compared to all the other ones on this list. At number 9, Love Striker Brawler. Yes, another Valentine skin. It basically follows the exact same pattern as Rocketeer, just basically being the default skin, but slightly more Valentine's themed. Having kind of sharp bladed wrapping paper, I want to say, things on its arms, instead of the usual fists. At level 1, it gains a jacket. Level 2, it gets some bows for its fists. Level 3, it gets knee pads. Level 4, it gets some wings. And level 5, it gets a different stance. This brawler skin is just pretty boring, especially compared to the default skin, which I feel is better than this one. However, Rocketeer just still is slightly worse, just because Rocketeer overall is a pretty boring tower. And that is why this gets the 9th position. In the 8th position is going to be Jason Slasher. This skin, I personally feel, is not that bad. It gets a nice jacket, some jeans, and boots. It also has, obviously, the iconic hockey mask that Jason from Friday the 13th uses, and a knife, just like Slasher. At level 1, it gets a chain necklace and fingerless gloves with knuckle pads on them. At level 2, it gets a butcher's knife and its own original level 1 knife in its eye, along with the mask it's wearing being slightly damaged, and more chain along with another knife in its chest. At level 3, everything stays, but there's now a skull attached to that chain, an axe in its back, and it's now wearing a green jacket with a chain around its leg. And at level 4, even more chain, one around its shoulder, along with another one around its other shoulder. It also changes towards having a machete rather than a butcher's knife. Now I feel the skin is really cool, especially for Slasher, and with it being one of the few only, or maybe even the only other Slasher skin, I'm not 100% confident, it does look really cool. However, it just gets outclassed by the other ones higher than it on this list. At 7th place is the Wasteland Harvester. This skin, rather than being half scarecrow and half robot, it is now half human and half robot. It's got a makeshift crossbow, and it's got some technological advances towards its head, and of course, obviously its lower body, which is common across all Harvester skins, besides maybe the lunar one, which seems to be half snake. At level 1, it gets a kind of shoulder pad kind of thing on its left shoulder, hair, and some wires creeping down on its right torso piece. At level 2, it gets shoulder pads. At level 3, it gets a kind of chest plate with wires sticking out of it. At level 4, it gets what I believe to be some little rope things around its legs, and a mask. And at level 5 is where the major changes come in, having 3 metallic arms holding up red lanterns, red hair, a red jacket with red kind of LED lights on it, and an insane mega crossbow that appears to be powered on thorns and air. The thorns by this skin, however, are a really cool shade that goes from a very bright yellow-orange all the way down to a black color. This skin, I feel, is really nice. However, compared to everything else on this list, it isn't very good especially in its earlier levels, which is where it just kinda doesn't really shine at all. And that is what brings it down to the 7th place spot. In 6th place is going to the Fallen Warden. This is one of the coolest Warden skins in the entire game, having some really nice gradient blue arms, a cool mace rather than a baton, a helmet with a black head with blue kind of glowing eyes, and a rib cage that surrounds a kind of blue crystal. At level 1, the helmet is improved, it gets some kind of bracelet spike things, and it seems like the overall arms just get some armor to them. At level 2, it gets some more armor towards mainly the neck area, and the mace is improved. At level 3, the mace is improved once again with some blue accents. There's some sharp kind of blue thorns coming around on the chest, and the helmet is improved with blue thorns as well. And at max level, it gains a shield, some kind of antler crown, and more armor, along with a bluer mace. Or at least a more improved mace, and a bluer ribcage kind of thing. This skin is insanely cool. I just feel like it's pretty basic, especially compared to everything else on the list. Just mainly because it's just not that cool, man. Especially compared to everything above it. That's about it. In the 5th place spot is Fallen Minigunner. This skin is insanely nice, having a kind of chainmetal backpack and overall just chainmetal armor, with a pale blue and kind of purplish minigun with a black orb in the center. It's got purple skin with some cool scratch marks all over it. At level 1, it gets some wrist armor and a blindfold. At level 2, that blindfold is traded out for a knight's helmet. At level 3, it gets shoulder pads and an improved minigun. And at level 4, the minigun is improved further, the helmet is improved, and the armor gains some additional blue thorns. The attack effect is really nice, having its own unique way of opening up the minigun and then shooting. And it just looks really cool as it does it. This skin is insanely cool, one of the best minigunner skins in the entire game, and that is why it earns the 5th position. In 4th place is the Railgunner Ranger. This Ranger skin is the best Ranger skin in the entire game, getting this really cool railgun as a sniper rather than just the basic regular sniper. It also has a really nice green hood and some cool boots. At level 1, it earns some shoulder pads. At level 2, it gets a cool backpack. Level 3, it gets an intercom headset kind of system, and the backpack is improved. And at level 4, it gets a purple theme, the backpack is improved with purple accents, and the railgun now has a gray-purple theme. Now, the shooting for this skin is really cool. It forms around the entire railgun to basically spin around and then turn back into the normal railgun. And I find this to be just insanely cool. I do believe there is a bug with the max level railgunner skin where it just kind of spins around very overly aggressively, while on the regular level 0 Railgunner Ranger, you can see that it just shoots kind of regularly. There's no insane spin around effect, it just kind of spins and then goes back to normal. But overall, this skin gets the 4th place position for a reason. In the 3rd place position is the Booth Farm. This skin is probably one of the best farm skins in the entire game. The main reason for that being the specific kind of money give effect as shown here. As you can see, it is a golden kind of Robux shower that gives you, as you just saw, a cool kind of rainbow effect. Now, at level 0, it's kind of just the wooden farm. with some grass and terrain around it, and you are the one piloting it. However, with multiple, it could be your friends that are behind it. At level 1, it turns into a bronze-ish booth. Level 2, goldish booth. Level 3, more diamond. Level 4, it is a futuristic space booth. And at level 5, the main reason why it's in 3rd place, it is the Mega Crane booth. This skin is insanely cool because of this level 5. Now, the money effect does not change really at all. It is still just the basic shower. However, it is insanely cool. Yeah, it's very cool. I kind of did that wrong, but as you can see, it's very cool. It also has a randomly applying text and random donation effects. At number 2 is the amazing Fallen Engineer. This skin is phenomenal. It has the unique Fallen effect, white hair. It looks like 2 eyes on this one side rather than 2 eyes on one eye on both sides. Interesting. And the gun looks different. Wow. Now, the major feature and why this is 2nd place is because, as you'll notice, the kind of sentries that this skin has have their own unique effect, shooting off some energy beams that look very cool. And they just scale as they get better, with them going into the rifle sentry, which spins even faster for everything. Well, not really spins yet, but shoots faster for everything. The minigun sentry, which does indeed spin up to life, and then shoot a purple laser at people. And of course, the War Machine sentry, which has 2 extra lasers on the sides to shoot off the rockets. It spins even faster, looks even cooler, and does even more damage. At level 0, obviously it has the white hair, the 2 eyes, all of the cool stuff. But at level 1, it appears that nothing changes. At level 2, it gains a kind of tiara crown. At level 3, once again, it appears as though there's no change. Level 4, it appears that it gets some different detailings around the chest. Level 5, it gets a kind of frost fallen crystal kind of horn on the side, and some kind of difference to the boots, I believe. And at max level, the major difference, it now has a completely blue crystal arm, crystal wing, and it is now floating. And, of course, the gun is cooler, and there's a weird thing floating behind it. This is by far the coolest engineer skin in the entire game, and the 2nd coolest mission skin that I own. Honorable mention to the Krampus Slayer. Now, I do find this to be boring, and that is not the reason why it is technically 11th place. The reason is because this is technically the earliest version of a mission quest. You got this skin by completing a quest during the kind of Krampus event. It wasn't quite a mission quest per se, but it was more or less a quest for a skin that was a mission in the game. So I will be ranking it as an honorable mention. Level 1, it gets gloves and goggles. Level 2, it now has a frost aura at its feet. Level 3, it now holds the gun differently with a backpack, goggles, and a mask. And at level 4, it now looks like Krampus, has a Krampus staff, has thorn shoulders, and looks like Krampus. It's a pretty cool skin, especially compared to the default once it reaches level 4. And of course, at number 1 for the best mission quest skin I own, who would have seen it coming, the most recent one, the Ducky DJ. It's peak. Some little boxes, planks, and a tire behind it. This Ducky DJ is just playing its banjo with its little duck friend at level 0. Level 1, it now has a speaker and another little duck friend. Level 2, it gets glasses, another little duck friend that is playing your keyboard on a box. At level 3, there is now another box with another little duck friend bashing some nails on some planks. At level 4, it now has a stage for all of this to go down. And at level 5, it now has a big ol' roof with an equalizer, 2 ducks fighting over a corn cob, a duck in a rope swing, and now it has the evil duck theme with an evil duck in its overall pocket. This skin is just amazing. The theme that it gives off is perfect, being a unique kind of remix of the duck theme. This is just the best DJ skin that the game has ever had, and it is so nice that I managed to get it before it goes away in a couple weeks. But that is it for every single mission quest skin that I own ranked. If you all disagree or have any questions, I guess, make sure to comment them. Also, yes, I have noticed that for my standards, the solo hardcore 3 slot is blowing up, and I thank everybody greatly for that video. To all who liked it, to all who subscribed from it, to even just all who watched it, thank you. And all of you, have a good day.